And money day, guys and girls. You're here with Pastor Pips. I'm bringing you this week's market outlook. As we always do at the beginning of every outlook, make sure to check out www.litcapital.co.uk. Have a look at some of our reviews and see what we have to offer. Now, as we always do, straight into the economic calendar, and let's have a look at what's coming for the week ahead. So, of course, as we all know, or if you didn't know, Monday we do have Easter. Okay, so we're going to have Easter for pretty much most of the world. So Monday is going to be a day for you to do absolutely nothing. Maybe brush up, back test, because it's very unlikely that there will be huge market moves. Now, Tuesday we do have EIA short-term energy outlook, for the dollar. And then that's it. Wednesday, we have core CPI, CPI month on month, and CPI year on year for the dollar. So it's going to be very, very, very heavy for the dollar from Wednesday moving on. Now, when we head over to later on in the afternoon at 2, we're going to have Governor Bailey speaking for the pound, followed by Bank of Canada monetary policy report, interest rate decision, and most likely their minutes followed by it. Next, we have crude oil inventories, as we usually do on a Wednesday. FOMC meeting minutes for the dollar coming at 7 p.m. GMT. Thursday, we have employment change for the Aussie. We have GDP, manufacturing, production, monthly GDP for the pound coming at 7 a.m. sharp, followed by the German CPI. Now, a little bit later on in the afternoon, we have initial jobless claims for the dollar and PPI from the dollar as well. Friday, we do have Good Friday, but this time for Greece. I'm not too sure if anyone is trading anything Greece related. If you are, you have been told. To finish off the week, nice and strong, we have core retail sales and retail sales month on month for the dollar. So very, very, very heavy in terms of the economic calendar. Let's head straight over to the charts. Now, guys, I'm going to start you off with the DXY just to kind of talk to you about what we had off the back end of last week. So last week we did have NFP. However, we also had everyone on break. So in terms of all the other currencies, they did have a break. Nothing was really going on. There was a holiday on Friday. Now, what happened is we actually saw the dollar gain strength. Okay. We saw the dollar rise, gain strength. Okay, of course, then it then bottomed out, came down, pushed back, and we can see that we kind of consolidated. We actually saw gold. Where is it? There it is. We saw gold come down, after it peaked at 2032. When we do look at gold, actually, gold did not move, I'm afraid. Sorry, guys. The gold market was closed on Friday. However, it's interesting to see that when we have a look at the DXY and the dollar moving, a lot of the markets were shut. Especially when we look at the FX pairs. The FX pairs were open for a small period of time during the day, but then price, of course, shut for the majority of the day in terms of the trading day because everything was shortened. But we're most likely going to see gaps throughout all pairs. So we're probably going to see the pound gap down, most likely see gold gap down as well, potentially also see the indices also gap down as well. But other than that, let's have a look at what I'm anticipating for the dollar. So I'm anticipating some dollar strength. Looking at the weekly time frame there, we did take out this weekly low last week. Okay. And I was actually expecting or suspecting price was going to give us a push up after it, of course, took out this weekly low. However, we did actually stick around at these lows for quite some time before we actually started to react and push up higher. Now, when we do look at things in terms of the daily perspective and the 4-hour perspective, I'm looking for around the foot of this candle, which is going to be 102.769. I want to see if price can get up to this area. Maybe potentially we get a push down from here. But for the time being, I am a little bit bullish for the dollar. I want to see it push up. Now, whether we see this gap open at the open of the market is Saturday today, so tomorrow evening, we'll have to see how that plays out, of course. Now, let's head over to the pound, okay, cable. Now, in terms of pound, was looking for some entries last week. If I do go to the 5-minute, posted these setups inside of the Discord to look for a change. And we can see there we've got the test inside of this little imbalance area. And of course, price pushed all the way up and hit the 1 hour candle, which was above here, which is where I was expecting price to potentially give us a move down lower. Now, in terms of our liquidity is here on the daily. So this would be our near-term target. Now, the reason why I'm expecting this to come down lower is because we took out the weekly highs, okay, the weekly equal highs here. And also we've come into a weekly lit block. So with all things considered, I am expecting a bearish week. Maybe we consolidate and chill around here for a little bit, but I want to see anything XXX USD come down for the time being. So we'll just have to wait and see how the market opens. How big will this gap be? What could we potentially see? Now, when I look at things from the 4-hour perspective, there is also this 4-hour candle where price could potentially, put a spanner in the works, but we'll keep our eyes out for it. I do want to see this daily low get taken and this 4-hour low get taken, because if this does get taken, then we can expect something like this to happen, where we can then take shorts to, of course, attack all these other areas of liquidity to the downside. Cool. Let's head over to the S&P. Now, when we look at the S&P, go back up to the weekly time frame, okay, we can see we actually took out a lot of highs, okay? We took out a lot of highs, a lot of weekly highs, so there was a lot of liquidity sitting above these highs. Now, when we head over to the daily time frame, towards the latter stages of last week or 2 weeks ago, we've been quite bullish for some time being. So was suspecting for us to turn around sometime sooner or later. Now, the E-mini doesn't really show us the setup that clearly, but when we do look at the S&P 500 index on Owanda, we can see the area and the level in which price has reacted from. Okay, we've seen multiple rejections from this price level, okay, due to this lit block here. So I do want to see this area hold. I do want to see these lows get taken, I wanted to see it get taken here. It didn't happen. Want to see it get taken here. We didn't quite get low enough. So here's another chance, another attempt. Now, when I look at the short term, in terms of the daily, it does look like we could potentially push up one more time, or maybe push up a little bit more. But due to the nature in which the market closed, it's very, very difficult to actually, give a more conclusive answer or a more conclusive opinion, because quite frankly, we just don't know how things are going to open up, just due to how irregular last week's NFP was. So, within that regards, just keep your eyes peeled, take Monday easy, let Tuesday come, and then we're probably going to see setups from Thursday to Friday. It might be a, midweek / later on in the week type of setups. So when we look at things from the 4-hour perspective, we do have this 4-hour imbalance. Of course, we do have this 4-hour candle up here as well. We can see that the market has, in fact, pulled down lower, and we could actually potentially get a test up into this 4-hour candle before we head down lower. Yeah, I would want to see price, of course, push up into this 4-hour imbalance. We could potentially get a test up into this area. Of course, for us to then take some shorts to target these lows. Now, of course, long term, I do want to see a lot of these lows get targeted and taken out. That would be the ideal situation. But of course, there's other areas where price could potentially give us some speed bumps on the way down lower. But that is the setup. But realistically, guys, you're just going to have to wait till the market opens, because last week's NFP was just so irregular. So we're just going to have to take our time and see how things pan out. With that being said, I'm going to close things off there. Of course, guys, don't forget to check out www.litcapital.co.uk and see what we have to offer. With that being said, you're the vibes, lit side. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Remember, every day is money day. Peace.